My friend, let's call him Mark, was in his mid-20s when this all went down. He lived with his girlfriend, Jenna, on the surface. They seemed like any other couple. Two young adults figuring life out, sharing rent, building what looked like a future together. But behind closed doors, things weren't perfect. They were going through a rough patch. Miscommunication, arguments, those long, awkward silences that make you feel like a stranger in your own home. Still, Mark was loyal. He believed relationships were about weathering storms. So when Jenna said she was going to visit her family, Mark didn't think twice. She packed her bags, told him she'd be gone a week, kissed him goodbye, and drove off. But just 2 days later, fate threw Mark the cruelest curveball. He stopped by a local restaurant to grab a quick lunch. And there, sitting under the sun on the patio, was Jenna, not with family, not looking sad or homesick. She was laughing, tossing her hair, leaning close to her ex-boyfriend, their hands brushing like it was the most natural thing in the world. For a moment, Mark's stomach dropped, that sickening blend of shock and disbelief. His hands went cold. His mind screamed, no, this isn't real. Maybe it's just a friend. Maybe I'm overthinking. But deep down, he knew this was betrayal. Instead of storming over, he pulled out his phone. Click, click, photo evidence, proof. He walked away, heart racing, knowing the relationship was already over, but also knowing he wasn't about to go down begging. Now, here's where Mark showed absolute genius. Most people confront their partner immediately, screaming and crying, demanding answers. Not Mark. When Jenna came home, he didn't mention the photos, didn't say a word. Instead, he became calm, almost too calm. He floated the idea of couples therapy, just to test the waters, but never pushed. He stopped initiating intimacy. And not that it mattered, because she wasn't offered it anyway. Meanwhile, Jenna's behavior became more suspicious. Late nights out, excuses about staying over at friends' places. The lies piled up, flimsy and obvious. Each time, Mark simply said, okay. No fight, no jealousy, nothing to warn her of what was coming. See, Jenna didn't realize Mark was quietly setting the stage. Their apartment was on a month-to-month lease, but only he was on it. She had zero legal claim to that place. He gave his landlord notice, 60 days. And here's the kicker. The landlord was a good guy. When Mark explained the situation, the landlord agreed to keep everything quiet. Together, they worked out a plan so potential new tenants would only view the apartment while Jenna was out. Behind the scenes, Mark was already moving on, scouting a new place, arranging movers, preparing for the day Jenna's world would collapse. Finally, the day came. Bright and early, a hired moving crew knocked on the door. Jenna, groggy and confused, walked into the living room to find strangers boxing up furniture, packing Mark's belongings into trucks. She blinked, dazed. What's going on?" she asked. That's when Mark, cool as ice, laid it all out. He pulled out the photos, those damning shots of her cozy lunch with her ex. One by one, he placed them on the table in front of her. No shouting, no swearing, just undeniable proof. Her face drained of color. She stammered, scrambling for excuses. But before she could spin her lies, the landlord stepped in, calmly but firmly. He told her she had until midnight to get her stuff out. The new tenants were moving in just 2 days, and if she didn't clear her things, everything left behind would be placed on the curb. Imagine the silence in that room. Jenna looking around, realizing every piece of furniture, every bit of comfort belonged to Mark. The only things she had were her clothes, toiletries, and a shattered sense of security. Mark didn't yell, didn't gloat. Instead, he snapped one final photo. Jenna standing in the middle of the apartment, surrounded by piles of her own belongings while movers carried out the life she thought was hers.